Hi everyone, we're back to investigating the mysterious rattle in my NTV650. I was hoping to have made faster progress on this and be actually riding this around, but sometimes life gets in the way. So we're going to continue to chase up what's going on with it. I'm starting to be fairly confident in the shape of the cam chains, the state of them. I do feel that the oil drive chain down here is not real good. It's very loose. But anyway, I do intend to remove the clutch on the bike and inspect that as well. Let's not forget that I'm hoping to put this bike in a service as a daily ride for myself. It's really cool to ride. It's very, very nice to ride. It's a little on the heavy side. I think the wet weight is about 200 kilos or something like that. That's a little bit on the heavy side, but it is pleasant to ride and very torquey. You don't find yourself shifting your way through the gearbox all that much. So I'm really looking forward to that. We just need to sort this vibration out, this vibration and rattle that unfortunately goes through the bike under certain circumstances. Now I've decided that I'm going to loosen off the CDI rotor here through that little, well, not so little, it's 17mm bolt there that goes into the crankshaft. It's conceivable that I will need to remove that at some point. Once I remove the clutch, it's going to get more and more difficult to lock the motor up. That's the thing. So that's why I cracked the flywheel while I was still in a position to do that. I will crack that, then I'll work on the clutch, and then hopefully there's nothing else that is going to be too difficult to loosen off. So I've got a copper coin. Now you need to be very careful not to drop things in the engine, because as soon as I find the cause of the noise, I don't intend to dismantle this any further, which is why the motor is still in the bike, because I'm hoping it won't be necessary to remove it. So I've put the coin in there, copper coin, so it doesn't damage anything. Hopefully. So I've come back with a bit of leverage. Actually, I've come back with a lot of leverage. There we go. That would have been quite painful to do without the clutch there. The important thing as well is that if it comes to the point where I'm satisfied I've found the cause of the noise and the vibration, and I don't need to remove that, I need to remember to tighten it. So I left the copper coin in place, but the fact is that the moment I turn this, that's it, out she comes. Okay. Oops. If we can leave that unlocked. Generally speaking, these don't need much persuasion. However, there's little gems inside there. There's one great big one in the middle there, locking the clutch onto the input shaft of the gearbox. And that's going to be full of challenges. So I'll just take those off for the sake of brevity. We'll cut it there. Okay, so I'm just taking the last two out. Nice. And these are the springs that force the clutch plates together. Make your clutch work. Now this nut here holds the whole clutch assembly on, and sometimes, I mean, this is a standard nut, but sometimes they're held on by some pretty strangely shaped devices that need a special tool to remove it. This one, on the other hand, seems to be just a very standard sort of a nut. I'm not sure what size yet. It's also sort of peened over, so there's a soft edge to this nut, and like a groove on the shaft that it sits on. So you can actually stop that nut from falling off, lock it down by hitting that with a hammer basically and peening it into the groove. So what we need to do is just find a tool to sort of stick up there and hit it, and sort of pull that edge out of the groove so that we can undo the nut. I usually use an old screwdriver for this. I had a tool for it, but it broke. Anything that can fit in there without damaging anything and just pull that peened over edge out is good enough. So this little guy looks like it's already done this duty before, and for the purists out there and whatnot, yeah, I know this is blasphemy. I am truly a monster. Coming. just straighten this guy up a bit. See, if the screwdriver's bent, you're not sending your full force into where you need it. You're expending a lot of energy bending it again. And there we go. It's actually coming out really good. We don't want to break it off, we just want to straighten it up. Oh! I think that's pretty good. Yeah. I'll give that a try. It's a tough one. Well, unfortunately, it's actually taken me maybe an hour to get this guy to crack. It really didn't want to come off. As in, it really didn't want to come off. And when it cracked, it cracked with a crack. But I got it. Unfortunately, by then the camera had actually gone flat. So now we're back with a fresh set of batteries and a loosened nut. But basically how I did it was just holding the brake down really hard and giving it a mighty yank with the torque wrench. Right. That's what we have here. And that can go in there. So this chain here, which drives the oil pump, is actually one of the things that I was suspecting was making all the noise. But I mean, it's not incredibly tight, but it's not incredibly loose either. Interesting. I mean, really all that chain does is drive the oil pump, so it's not under a massive amount of load. And it's not really moving far enough to make contact with anything, I don't think. Oh, let's have a quick look at our clutch. Okay, so the first thing we discover is a spacing ring. Well, this particular there's some friction material there. I think we'll put that on the bench to investigate it further. That's the clutch off. I might just remove that chain if I can. I don't see any pressing reason why I can't. Well, apart from the fact that nothing wants to come off easily on this engine. Oh. Well, that was a heck of a workout.